Welcome to Exploring Orthodoxy. Today we're continuing with the library series, which is a book introduction. And we're back on the Internet Archive, which you would find on Google. And this is where you can find a range of full text books to read on the church fathers and a variety of other Christian material. And today, guess what we're going to look at? I'm going through the first few pages until we get to the main title. There we go. Today, we're looking at the Book of Enoch. Now, Enoch is one of the witnesses, which is coming at the end times. So I thought it'd be interesting to see what was written. Now, what you need to know about the Book of Enoch is that it's an ancient Jewish text. It's traditionally attributed to Enoch, who is the great-grandfather of Noah. Now, you need to know that the exact authorship is uncertain because it's also believed that maybe there were multiple authors over a period of time between the 3rd century and the 3rd century before Christ and the 1st century after Christ. The book is comprised of several sections, which include the Ethiopic Enoch, also known as 1 Enoch, which is the most well-known version, and it exists in full in the Ge'ez language. The Book of Enoch was influential in early Christian thought, but was eventually excluded from the canonical scriptures of both Judaism and Christianity. So, now the Bible describes Enoch as a righteous man who walked with God, and you'll find that in Genesis chapter 5, verse 24. So that indicates he had a close relationship with the divine. Enoch also lived for 365 years. Now, unlike other people that we know of in the Bible, Enoch did not die, but was taken up by God. And this is indicated in Genesis chapter 5, verse 24, which states, "And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him." Now, what else can I tell you? So the Book of Enoch is considered an apocrypha text, which means a hidden or secret text in the religious context. And they're not necessarily considered part of canonical scriptures by certain religious groups. So let's see. Let's go straight into it. So we found the title, and obviously there's going to be a long introduction coming up. I'm just going to look at a couple of things. So I'll scroll through and we will start reading the main part of Enoch because he's considered one of the witnesses. So we're reading this really in relation to the Revelation study that we're doing with Yerunda Savas Lavriotis, and on the YouTube channel, in the playlist, you'll find the study on Revelation where you can follow through, the analysis of what each chapter is about. Now, Enoch is the name of 4 biblical persons. This is the introduction. The first is the oldest son of Cain. The second is the son of Jared. The third is the son of Midian. the fourth, the oldest son of Reuben. Now, of the people in the Bible called Enoch, it is the second one. So the second alone is of importance and interest for us, not only on account of the mysterious prominence given to him in Genesis chapter 5, but especially from the fact that an inspired writer of the New Testament, Jude, in his letter, mentions him as a prophet and produces a quotation from a book attributed to the patriarch. The existence of such a book does not, however, rest on the authority of this statement alone, but in the early literature of the church, there is a whole chain of evidences to this effect. Nearly all of the church fathers knew of an apocryphal book of Enoch, and the description of the work and citations from it prove satisfactorily that it was virtually the same as that which now lies before us. Among the apostolic fathers, the Epistle of Barnabas refers to such a work. So then it gives a few examples there. We're going to continue past. So what we do here is we're just giving an overview of the book, a little bit of an introduction. We read certain sections, but then if you're interested to read this in full, you'll be able to find it on the Internet Archive by just doing a search for the Book of Enoch. All right, I think we should probably go straight to the book. So the book it begins on page 75. Sorry, I'm going to quickly flick through the screen here. Now, here we go, the Book of Enoch. So what will we learn? Will he tell us about the apocalypse times, which would match up with the Revelation study? So this is section 1, chapter 1, the words of the blessing of Enoch, wherewith he blessed the chosen and just, who will exist on the day of tribulation, when all the wicked and impious shall be removed. And then answered and spoke Enoch, a just man, whose eyes were opened by God, so that he saw a holy vision in the heavens, which the angels showed to me, and from them I heard everything, and I knew what I saw, but not for this generation, but for the far-off generations which are to come. Concerning the chosen, I spoke and conversed concerning them with the holy and great one. He will come from his abode, the God of this world. And from there he will step onto Mount Sinai and appear with his hosts and appear in the strength of his power from heaven. And all will fear, and the watchers will tremble, and great fear and terror will seize them to the ends of the earth. And the exalted mountains will be shaken, and the high hills will be lowered, and will melt like wax before the flame. And the earth will be submerged, and everything that is on the earth will be destroyed. And there will be a judgment upon everything and upon all the just. But to the just he will give peace and will protect the chosen. And mercy will abide over them, and they will all be God's and will be prosperous and blessed, and the light of God will shine for them. And behold, he comes with myriads of the holy to pass judgment upon them, and will destroy the impious, and will call to account all flesh for everything the sinners and impious have done and committed against him. Chapter 2, I observed everything that took place in the heavens, how the luminaries which are in the heavens do not depart from their paths, that each one rises and sets in order, each in its time, and they do not depart from their laws. See the earth and observe the things that are done on it, from the first to the last, how no work of God is irregular in appearing. See the summer and the winter, how then the whole earth is full of water, and clouds and dew and rain rest over it. Chapter 3. I observed and saw how then all the trees appeared as if withered, and all their leaves are shaken off, except 14 trees, whose leaves are not shaken off, but which abide with the old from 2 to 3 years till the new come. Chapter 4. And again I observed the days of summer, how the sun is then above it, i.e., the earth, opposite to it. But ye seek cool and shady places on account of the heat of the sun, and the earth also burns with fervent heat, but ye cannot step on the earth or on a rock because of their heat. Chapter 5. I observed how the trees cover themselves with the green of the leaves and bear fruit. But observe ye all this, and learn how he who lives forever has made all these for you, how his works are before him in every year that comes, and all his works serve him and are not changed. But as God has ordained, so everything takes place. And see how the seas and the rivers together accomplish their work. But ye have not persevered, and have not done the commandment of the Lord, but have transgressed, and have slandered his greatness with high and hard words from your unclean mouths. Ye hard-hearted, ye will have no peace, and therefore ye will curse your days, and the years of your lives perish. The everlasting curse will increase, and ye will receive no mercy. On that day ye will give away your peace for an everlasting curse to all the just, and they will ever curse you as sinners, you together with the sinners. But for the chosen there will be light and joy and peace, and they will inherit the earth. But for you, the impious, there will be a curse. And then also wisdom will be given to the chosen. They will all live and not continue to sin, neither through wickedness nor through pride. But they in whom there is wisdom will be humble without continuing to sin. And they will not be punished all the days of their lives, and will not die through plagues or judgments of wrath, but the number of the days of their lives will be completed, and their lives will become old in peace, and the years of their joy will be many in everlasting happiness and peace for all the days of their lives. Now, let's see what's happening here. There are a lot of references in this section that I'm just moving through. Section 2, Chapter 6. And it came to pass after the children of men had increased in those days, beautiful and comely daughters were born to them. And the angels of the sons of the heavens saw and lusted after them, and said one to another, Behold, we will choose for ourselves wives from among the children of men, and will beget for ourselves children. Now, this section is talking about the Nephilim, which I imagine is in Genesis, about the giants or the gigantes. Let's skip that section. Let's see, is there anything else for us? Let's go to chapter 9. Then Michael and Gabriel and Surgeon and Urgent looked down from heaven and saw the great amount of blood which had been spilled on the earth, and all wickedness which had been committed over the earth. And they said to one another, The emptied earth re-echoes the sound of their cries up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, O ye holy ones of heaven, cry the souls of men, saying, secure us judgment before the Most High. And they spoke to their Lord, to the King, O Lord of lords, God of gods, Kings of kings, and throne of thy majesty is among all the generations of the world, and thy name holy and glorious among all the generations of the world. Thou art blessed and praised. Thou hast made all things, and all power is with thee. All things are open before thee and uncovered, and thou seest all things, and nothing can hide itself from thee. See then what Azazel has done, how he has taught all wickedness on earth and has revealed the secrets of the world, which were prepared in the heavens. And Semjazer, to whom thou hast given the power to be chief of his associates, has made known conjurations. And they have gone together to the daughters of men and have slept with them, with those women who have defiled themselves, and have revealed to them these sins. And the women have brought forth giants, and thereby the whole earth has been filled with blood and wickedness. Let's skip through this. Okay, here we go. We'll go to chapter 10. Then the Most High, the Great and Holy One, spoke and sent Asjalaju to the son of Lamech and said to him, tell him my name, hide thyself, and reveal to him the end which is to come. For the whole earth will be destroyed, and the water of the deluge is about to come over the whole earth, and what is upon it will be destroyed. And now instruct him that he may escape and his seed remain on the whole earth. And again the Lord spoke to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot and put him in the darkness, make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudale, and put him there, and lay upon him rough and pointed rocks, and cover him with darkness, that he may remain there forever, and cover his face, that he may not see the light. And on the great day of judgment he'll be cast into the fire, and heal the earth which the angels have defiled, and announce the healing of the earth, that I will heal it, and that not all the sons of men shall be destroyed through the mystery of all the things which the watchers have spoken and have taught their sons. And the whole earth was defiled through the example of the deeds of Azazel. To him ascribe all the sins. And God said to Gabriel, go against the bastards and those cast off, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication and the children of the watchers from among men. Lead them out and let them loose, that they may destroy each other by murder. For their days shall not be long. And they will all supplicate thee, for their fathers will secure nothing for them, although they expect an everlasting life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And God said to Michael, announce to Semjazer and to the others who are with him, who have bound themselves to women, to be destroyed with them in all their contamination. When all their sons shall have slain one another, and they shall have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them under the hills of the earth for 70 generations, till the day of their judgment and of their end, till the last judgment has been passed for all eternity. And in those days they will be led to the abyss of fire. In torture and in prison they will be locked for all eternity. And then he will burn and be destroyed. They will be burned together from now on to the end of all generations, and destroy all souls of lust and the children of the watchers, because they have oppressed mankind. Destroy all oppression from the face of the earth, and all wicked deeds shall cease, and the plant of justice and righteousness shall appear. The deeds will become a blessing. Justice and righteousness will be planted in joy forever. Then all the just will bend to the knee, and they will remain alive till they beget 1,000 children, and they will complete all the days of their youth and their Sabbath in peace. And in those days, the whole earth will be worked in justice, and will all be planted with trees, and will be full of blessings. And all the trees of desire will be planted on it, and vines will be planted on it. The vine planted on it will bear fruit in abundance, and all of the seed sown on it, one measure will bear 10,000, and one measure of olives will make 10 presses of oil. And cleanse thou the earth of all oppression, and all injustice, and all sin, and all wickedness, and all uncleanness which are produced on the earth. Eradicate them from the earth, and all the children of men shall become just, and all the nations shall worship me as God, and bless all will worship me. And the earth will be cleansed of all corruption and all sin and all punishment and all torment, and I'll never again send a flood upon it from generation to eternity. And in those days I will open the storerooms of blessings which are in heaven, in order to bring them down upon the earth, upon the deeds of labor of the children of men. Peace and rectitude will become associates in all the days of the world and in all generations of the world. Okay. I'm just scrolling through a few pages here. There are obviously commentaries within this, some references, and that is why I'm just scrolling through. Going down here a bit. Section 3, chapter 12. And previous to all these things, Enoch was hidden, and not one of the children of men knew where he was hidden, and where he was, and what had become of him. And all his deeds were with the holy ones, and with the watchers in his days. And I, Enoch, was praising the great Lord and the King of the world, and behold, the watchers called to me, Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, thou scribe of justice, go announce to the watchers of heaven, who have left the high heaven and the holy eternal place, and have contaminated themselves with women, and have done as the children of men do, and have taken to themselves wives, and are contaminated in great contamination upon the earth. But upon earth they shall have no peace, nor forgiveness of sin, for they will not enjoy their children. They will see the murder of their beloved ones. They will lament over the destruction of their children, and will petition to eternity. But mercy and peace will not be unto them. Chapter 13. And Enoch, departing, said to Azazel, Thou wilt have no peace. A great condemnation has come upon thee, and he will bind thee, and alleviation and intercession and mercy will not be unto thee, because thou hast taught oppression, and because of all the deeds of abuse, oppression, and sin, which thou hast showed to the children of men. And then going, I spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid. Fear and trembling seized them. And they asked me to write a memorial petition for them, that they thereby might attain forgiveness, and to carry their memorial petition before God into heaven. For they could not from now on speak with him, nor could they raise their eyes towards heavens from shame on account of their sins, for which they were being punished. Then I wrote this memorial petition and prayed with reference to their souls and for each of their deeds and for what which they had asked of me, and that they thereby might obtain forgiveness and patience. And going, I sat down near the waters of Dan in Dan, which is to the right, i.e., south of the evening side, i.e., west of Hermon, and read their memorial petition till I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions fell upon me, and I saw the vision of chastisement to show the sons of heaven and to upbraid them. And having become awake, I went to them, and they were all sitting assembled, lamenting at Jubal jail, which is between the Lebanon and Sennacer, with their faces covered. And I related before them all the visions that I had seen in my sleep, and commenced to speak those words of justice and to upbraid the watchmen of heaven. Chapter 14. This writing is the word of justice and admonition of the watchers, who are from eternity, as the Holy and Great One commanded it in this vision. I saw in my sleep what I now will relate with a tongue of flesh and with my breath, which the Great One has given to the mouth of men, that they might converse with it and understand it in their hearts. As he has created and given to men the power to understand the word of knowledge, thus also he has created me and given to me the power to upbraid the watchers, the sons of heaven. I have written your petition, and in my vision it appeared to me thus, that your petition will not be granted in all the days of the world, and that judgment has been passed over you, and nothing will be granted unto you. And from now on, ye will not ascend into heaven to all eternity, and upon earth it has been decreed, they shall bind you for all the days of the world. But before this, ye will have seen the destruction of your beloved children, and ye will not be able to possess them, but they shall fall before you by the sword. Your petition for them will not be granted unto you, nor the one for yourselves. And while ye are weeping and praying, ye cannot speak a single word from the writing which I have written. And the vision appeared to me thus. Behold, clouds in the vision invited me, and a fog invited me, and the course of the stars and lightning drove and pressed me, and the winds in the vision gave me wings and drove me, and they lifted me up into heaven. And I went till I approached near a wall which was built of crystals, and a tongue of fire surrounded it, and it began to cause me to fear. And I went into the tongue of fire and approached near to a large house which was built of crystals, and the walls of this house were like a floor inlaid with crystals, and the groundwork was of crystals. The ceiling was like the course of the stars and of the lightning, and cherubim of fire were between them, and their heaven was water. A flaming fire surrounded the walls, and its doors burned with fire. And I went into this house, and it was hot like fire and cold like ice, and there was nothing pleasant and no life in it. Fear covered me, and trembling seized me. And as I was shaking and trembling, I fell down on my face and saw in a vision. And behold, there was a second house, larger than the other, all whose doors stood open before me, and it was built with a tongue of fire. And in all things it excelled in grandeur and magnificence and size, so that I cannot describe to you its magnificence and its size. Its floor was fire, and above it was lightning, and the course of the stars, and its ceiling was also a flaming fire. And I looked and saw therein a high throne. Its appearance was like the hoarfrost, and its circuit like a shining sun, and voices of the cherubim. And from under the great throne came streams of flaming fire, and it was impossible to look at it. And he who is great in majesty sat thereon. His garment shone more brilliantly than the sun and was whiter than any hail. None of the angels were able to enter, nor any flesh to look upon the form of the face of the majestic and honoured one. Fire of flaming fire was round him, and a great fire stood before him, and none of those who were around him could approach him. 10,000 times 10,000 were before him, but he required not any holy counsel, and the holy ones who were near him did not leave day or night, nor did they depart from him. And I had so long a veil upon my face, and I trembled. And the Lord called me with his own voice and said to me, Come hither, Enoch, and to my holy word. And he caused me to arise, and I went to the door, but I bent my face downward. Chapter 15. And he answered and spoke to me with his word, Hear and fear not, Enoch, thou just man and scribe of justice, approach hither and hear my words, and go say to the watchers of heaven, who have said to thee, that thou shouldest petition for them. Ye should petition for men, and not men for you. Why have ye left the high, holy, and everlasting heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men? And taken wives unto yourselves, and acted like the children of earth, and begotten giants as sons. While you were spiritual, holy, having eternal life, you defiled yourselves with women, and with the blood of flesh have begotten children, and have lusted after the blood of men, and have produced flesh and blood as they produce, who die and are destroyed. Therefore I have given them wives, that they might impregnate them, and children be born by them, as it is done on earth. Ye were formerly spiritual, living an eternal life without death to all the generations of the world. Therefore I have not made for you any wives, for spiritual beings have their home in heaven. And now the giants who have been begotten from body and flesh will be called evil spirits on earth, and their dwelling places will be upon the earth. Evil spirits proceed from their bodies, because they are created from above, their beginning and first basis being from the holy watchers. There will be evil spirits upon the earth, and will be called evil spirits. But the spirits of heaven have their dwelling places in heaven, and the spirits of the earth who were born on the earth have their dwelling places on earth, and the spirits of the giants who cast themselves upon the clouds will be destroyed and fall, and will battle and cause destruction on earth and do evil. They will take no kind of food, nor will they become thirsty, and they will be invisible. And these spirits will not rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them in the days of murder and destruction. So we'll continue on a bit. Let's continue past this. And let's just see what the next chapter brings us. As you can see, there's a lot of commentary in there. So section 4, chapter 17. And they took me to a place where there were images like flaming fire, and when they wished, they appeared like men. And he led me to the place of the whirlwind, and on a hill, the point of whose summit reached to heaven. And I saw shining places, and the thunder at the ends thereof. In the depths thereof, a bow of fire, and arrows, and the quiver, and a sword of fire, and all lightning. And they took me to the so-called water of life, and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. And I came to the river of fire, whose fire flows like water, and is emptied into a great sea which is towards the west. And I saw on the great rivers and came to a great darkness and went there where all flesh wanders. And I saw the mountains of the black clouds of winter and the place whither all the waters of the deep flow. And I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth and the mouth of the deep. And I saw the repositories of all the winds. And I saw how he had ornamented all the creation and the foundations of the earth with them. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the four winds which support the earth and the firmament of the heavens. And I saw how the winds expand the heights of the heavens, and they remained between heaven and earth, and they are pillars of heaven. And I saw the winds which turn the heavens, which lead down the course of the sun and all the stars. And I saw the winds upon the earth, which carry the clouds. And I saw the paths of the angels. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of the heavens above. And I proceeded towards the south, and it burns day and night, where 7 hills of precious stones are, 3 towards the east, 3 towards the south. But of those towards the east, 1 of coloured stone, 1 of pearls, and 1 of antimony, and those towards the south of red stone. But the middle one reached up to heaven like the throne of God, of alabaster, and the summit of the throne of sapphire. And I saw a burning fire which was in all the hills. And there I saw a place beyond the great earth. There the waters collected. And I saw a great abyss in the earth with columns of heavenly fire. And I saw among them columns of heavenly fire which fall and are without number, either towards the height or towards the depth. And over the abyss, that abyss, I saw a place which had no firmament of heaven above it, and no foundation of earth beneath it, and no water above it, and no birds upon it. It was a void place. And there I saw a terrible thing, 7 stars like great burning mountains and like spirits that petitioned me. The angel said, "This is the place of the consummation of heaven and earth. It is a prison for the stars of heaven and for the host of heaven. And the stars that roll over the fire are they who have transgressed the command of God before their rising, because they did not come forth in their time. And he was enraged at them and bound them till the time of consummation of their sins in the year of the mystery." Chapter 19. And Uriel said to me, "Here will stand the souls of those angels who have united themselves with women, and having assumed many different forms, have contaminated mankind and have led them astray, so that they brought offerings to the demons as to gods, namely on the day when the great judgment on which they will be judged shall be consummated. And their women, having led astray the angels of heaven, will be like their friends. And I, Enoch, alone saw this vision, the ends of all, and no man has seen them as I have seen them." Chapter 20. And these are the names of the holy angels who watch: Uriel, one of the holy angels, the angel of thunder and of trembling; Raphael, one of the holy angels, the angel of the spirits of men; Raguel, one of the holy angels who takes vengeance on the earth and the luminaries; Michael, one of the holy angels, namely set over the best portion of men, over the people; Saraquel, one of the holy angels who is over the spirits of the children of men who induce the spirits to sin; Gabriel, one of the holy angels who is over the serpents and over the paradise and the cherubim. Chapter 21. And I went around to a place where not one thing took place, and I saw there something terrible, no high heavens, no founded earth, but a void place, awful and terrible. And there I saw 7 stars of heaven tied together to it, like great mountains and flaming as if by fire. At that time I said, on account of what sin are these bound, and why have they been cast hither? And then answered Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, conducting me, and said to me, Enoch, concerning what dost thou ask, and concerning what dost thou inquire, and ask and art anxious? These are of the stars who have transgressed the command of God, the highest, and are bound here till 10,000 worlds. The number of the days of their sins shall have been consummated. And from there I went to another place, which was still more terrible than the former. And I saw a terrible thing. A great fire was there, which burned and flickered and appeared in sections. It was bounded by a complete abyss. Great columns of fire were allowed to fall into it. Its extent and size I could not see, and I was unable to see its origin. At that time I said, how terrible this place is and painful to look at. At that time answered Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me. He answered and said to me, Enoch, why such fear and terror in thee concerning this terrible place and in the presence of this pain? And he said to me, this is the prison of the angels, and here they are held to eternity. Scrolling down past the commentary of this particular section, section 5, chapter 22. And from here I went to another place, and he showed me in the west a great and high mountain chain, and hard rocks, and 4 beautiful places, and beneath them were places deep and broad and entirely smooth, as smooth as if a thing were rolled, and deep and dark to look at. And this time Raphael, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered and said to me, these beautiful places are intended for this, that upon them may be assembled the spirits, the souls of the dead, for they have been created that here all the souls of the sons of men might be assembled. These places have been made their dwellings till the day of their judgment, and to their fixed period, and this period is long, till the great judgment will come over them. And I saw the spirits of the children of men who had died, and their voices reached up to heaven and lamented. At that time I asked the angel Raphael, who was with me, and said to him, whose soul is that one whose voice thus reaches to heaven and laments? And he answered and said to me, saying, that is the spirit that proceeded from Abel, from whom his brother Cain slew. And it laments on his account till his seed be destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed disappear from among the seed of men. And at that time I therefore asked concerning him, and concerning the judgment of all, and said, why is one separated from the other? And he answered and said to me, these 3 apartments are made in order to separate the souls of the dead, and thus are the souls of the just separated. There is a spring of water above it, light, and thus is one such apartment made for the sinners when they die and are buried in the earth without a judgment having been passed upon them during their lives. Here their souls are separated in this great affliction until the great day of judgment and punishment and affliction upon the revilers to eternity, and the vengeance for their souls, and here he binds them to eternity. And if it was before eternity, then this apartment has been made for the souls of those who lament and those who reveal their destruction when they were killed in the days of the sinners. And thus it has been created for the souls of men who were not just, but sinners, who were complete in their crimes, and they will be with criminals like themselves. But their souls will not be killed on the day of judgment and will not be taken from here. At that time I blessed the Lord of glory and said, Blessed is my Lord, and Lord of glory and of justice, who rules all things to eternity. Chapter 23. And from there I went to another place towards the west, to the ends of the earth. And I saw a flaming fire which ran without resting and did not cease from its course day or night, but continued regularly. And I asked, saying, What is that which has no rest? And at that time answered Raguel, one of the holy angels who was with me, and said to me, That burning fire which thou seest, running towards the west, is the fire of all the luminaries of heaven. Chapter 24. And from there I went to another place of the earth, and he showed me a mountain chain of fire, which flamed day and night. And I went towards it and saw 7 magnificent mountains, each one different from the other, and magnificent and beautiful rocks, everything magnificent and fine in appearance and of beautiful surface. 3 towards the east, one founded upon the other, and 3 towards the south, one founded upon the other, and ravines, deep and winding, not one joining with the other. And the 7th hill was between these, and in their heights they were all like the seats of a throne, and surrounded with fragrant trees. And among them was a tree such as I had never smelt before, neither among these nor among others, nor was there a fragrance like this. Its leaves and buds and wood do not wither in eternity. Its fruit is beautiful, like the fruit of the vine and the palm tree. And at that time I said, Behold, this is a beautiful tree, and beautiful to look at, and its leaves are fair, and its fruit very pleasant to the eye. At that time answered Michael, one of the holy and honoured angels, who was with me, who was over them, i.e. the trees. Chapter 25. And he said to me, Enoch, what dost thou ask me concerning the fragrance of this tree, and does seek to know? Then I, Enoch, answered him, saying, Concerning all things I desire to know, but especially concerning this tree. And he answered me, saying, This high mountain, which thou hast seen, whose summit is like the throne of God, is the throne where the holy and great God of glory, the eternal King, will sit when he shall descend to visit the earth with goodness. And this tree of beautiful fragrance cannot be touched by any flesh until the time of the great judgment, when all things will be atoned for and consummated for eternity. This will be given to the just and humble. From its fruits, life will be given to the chosen. It will be planted towards the north, in a holy place towards the house of the Lord, the eternal King. Then they will rejoice greatly and be glad in the Holy One. They will let its fragrance enter their members and live a long life upon the earth as thy fathers lived. And in their days no sorrow or sickness or trouble or affliction will touch them. Then I blessed the Lord of glory, the eternal King, because he had prepared such for the just men, and had created such, and said he would give it to them. Chapter 26. And from here I went to the middle of the earth and saw a place blessed and fruitful, where there were branches which rooted in and sprouted out of a tree that was cut. And here I saw a holy mountain, and beneath the mountain towards the east, water which flowed towards the south. And I saw towards the east another mountain of the same height, and between them a deep valley, but not broad. Therein also water flowed along the mountain. And towards the west of this was another mountain, lower than the former, not high and below, between them a valley, and other deep and sterile valleys were at the end of three. And all the valleys were deep and not broad, of hard rock, and trees were planted upon them. And I was astonished on account of the rocks, and was astonished on account of the valley, and was very much astonished. Chapter 27. Then I said, for what purpose is this blessed land, which is entirely filled with trees, and this cursed valley between them? Then answered Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, and said to me, this cursed valley is for those who will be cursed to eternity. And here will be assembled all those who have spoken with their mouths unseemly words against God, and speak insolently of his glory. Here they will be assembled, and here will be their judgment. And in the latter days there will be the spectacle of a just judgment upon them in the presence of the just in eternity forever. For this reason, they who have found mercy will bless the Lord of glory, the eternal King. And in the days of their judgment, they will bless him for his mercy, according to which he has assigned to them their lot. Then I blessed the Lord of glory and spoke to him, and remembered his greatness as it is fitting. Chapter 28. And from here I went towards the east, into the midst of the mountains of the desert, and saw only a plain, but it was filled with trees of this seed, and water dropped down over it from above. It was seen that the water which is sucked up as was strong as towards the north, so towards the west, and in all places. So water and dew also ascended from here. Chapter 29. And I went to another place away from the desert, approaching the east of the mountains, and there I saw trees of judgment, especially those that emitted the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh, and they were not like ordinary trees. And chapter 30, and above, over these, over the eastern mountain, not far off, I saw another place, valleys with water that does not dry up. And I saw a beautiful tree, and its fragrance was like that of a mastic. And along the edges of these valleys, I saw fragrant cinnamon. And I advanced over these towards the east. Chapter 31. And I saw another mountain in which were trees from which water flowed, and it flowed like nectar, which is called Sarira and Galbanum. And over this mountain I saw another mountain on which were aloe trees, and these trees were full of hard substance like almonds. And in taking that fruit, it was better than all the odors. Chapter 32. And after these odors, as I looked towards the north over the mountains, I saw 7 mountains full of pleasant, nard, and fragrant trees, and cinnamon and pepper. And from here I went over the summits of those mountains, far towards the east, and passed far above the Erythraean Sea, and went far from it, and passed over the angel Zutal. And I came into the garden of justice, and I saw the mingled diversity of those trees. Many and large trees are planted there, of attractive beauty, and large and beautiful and magnificent. Also the tree of wisdom. Eating of it, one learns great wisdom. It is like the carob tree, and its fruit is like the grape, very good. The fragrance of this tree goes out and is spread far. And I said, this tree is beautiful. How beautiful and pleasant to look at. Then the holy angel Raphael, who was with me, answered and said to me, this is the tree of wisdom, from which thy old father and thy aged mother who were before thee ate, and they learned wisdom, and their eyes were opened, and they learned that they were naked and were driven out of the garden. Chapter 33. And from here I went to the ends of the earth and saw great animals there, and one differed from the other, and the birds differed as to their appearance, their beauty, and voices. One differed from the other. And to the east of these animals I saw the ends of the earth, where the heavens rest, and the portals of the heavens open. And I saw where the stars come out from heaven, and I counted the portals of which they come, and I wrote down all their outlets, each one, according to their number and their names, their connections and their positions and their times and their months, as the angel Uriel, who was with me, showed them to me. He showed all things to me and wrote them down for me. Also their names he wrote for me, and their laws and their deeds. Chapter 34. And from here I went towards the north to the ends of the earth, and there I saw a great and magnificent wonder at the ends of the whole earth. There I saw 3 portals of heaven open in the heavens. From each of them proceeded north winds. When one of them blows, there is a cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. And out of one of the portals it blows for good. But when it blows from the other 2 portals, it blows with power, and there is misfortune upon the earth, and they blow with great power. Chapter 35. And from here I went towards the west, to the ends of the earth, and saw there 3 open portals, as I had seen in the east, similar portals and similar outlets. Chapter 36. And from here I went towards the south, to the ends of the earth, and there I saw 3 open portals of heaven. One of them come the south wind, and dew and rain and wind. And from here I went towards the east to the ends of the heavens, and there I saw the 3 portals of heaven open towards the east, and over them small portals. Through each one of these small portals the stars of the heavens come and go every evening on the path which is shown to them. And as I looked, I blessed, and thus each time I blessed the Lord of glory, who had made the great and glorious wonders, to show the greatness of his work to the angels and to the souls of men, that they might praise his work, and that all his creatures might see the works of his might and praise the great work of his hand and bless him to eternity. Okay, I think that's where we'll end this short introduction to the Book of Enoch. And of course, if you want to read it further, you can find it on the Internet Archive. Okay, be blessed.